Mm-hmm. So if you want to hear all the nature sounds, just turn up your volume. Looks like we're straight good. If I'm coming in loud and clear, could you make a comment there? That would be good. My computer battery ran out of juice, so I had to run an extension cord from the apartment. I'm actually just using the wireless for my laptop. That's better. Hey, Denny, am I coming in loud and clear? My only viewer. It's just you and me, Denny. Denny Davis. What a name. Denny Davis. Just flows off your tongue. Oh, I got 3 viewers now. Oh, cool. Thanks, Denny. So yeah, turn up your volume and see if you can hear the bird sounds, crows, bees. There's lots of big bumblebees out here. I may have to go get water, more water soon. This should be coming through at 1080p, which is not bad. So a few minutes ago, I was demonstrating some arm massage and some wrist compression techniques. And that's because that's what I need right now. So this arm has been going through a lot of healing. This left arm especially, the right one too, but especially the left one has been going through a lot of cleansing. It's been tightening up on me a lot of wrist pain, and it's just going to take time before it really starts to relax. You know when something is tensing up on you chronically, regularly. You know if it's doing that, it's going through like a resistance. You know, it's resisting. It's tightening up. That's what your body does. It's what your mind does too. Your mind tightens up against things. It resists change. And that's a natural and required thing for it to do. Because when you get too much stress, when you get too much inflammation, that's what it will do. Your body and mind will resist change. It will resist healing. And there are so many things that you can do to adapt to that. Breathing and drinking a lot of water is required. Required. I tried it many years ago. I did the breathing on the grass, everything on the grass. I always like it when you do nature stuff. Me too. Me too. I'm gonna get out a lot more into nature soon. See if I can take the camera with me. It's getting darker, cloudier. I don't even know what time it is. Sorry about losing transmission before. My computer ran out of electricity. It ran out of juice, and so I had to run an extension cord. And I had to put 3 of them together because it wouldn't make it. So relaxing. It got a little bit darker, and I think that the sounds from the birds and stuff are not as loud for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's getting a little cooler and darker. It's still really nice out here. So I'm just gonna hang out, and if anybody has any questions about anything health-wise, I'll answer them. I'm just gonna focus on meditating and breathing. You're welcome to do that with me. You could even go outside and sit on the grass if you have some grass or whatever. Want to see some of my neighbors' houses? You can't see over there. Looks like it's coming through loud and clear. Yes, I like to do qigong sometimes, and qigong, however you want to pronounce it. And it's something that I was introduced to in massage school. Was one of the classes actually, and one of my favorite things to do is the shaking, and I'll do that one fairly often. But yeah, Tai Chi and Qigong are good things to do. We're so blessed to have modalities of healing introduced to us here in the United States because we have all these, every different kind of person from everywhere in the world here. It's good to have immigrants to a degree, you know? So do you do Qigong, Terry? How often do you do it? Mm. I need to do a boat pose. Do you guys do the boat pose? It's an opening up pose. Mhm. 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 Mm. I really like pigeon pose too. Qigong. For cancer, why don't you try doing what I'm doing here? Go outside and sit on the grass and do some breathing and drinking a lot of water. All therapies are good for cancer. All natural therapies. And for me, I stay clear away from medical doctors. Far away. Do you want to see some of the plants in the grass? Let's check them out. There's that one. Hey, Shell. Happy Easter. If you ever walk barefoot on the grass, it is also very nice. Your feet get massaged nicely. Acupressure benefits. Yes. Dandelion. Clovers. Little blue flowers. See the little blue ones? Purple. There's that one. I can't get close enough to it though. Wait a minute. I wish there were some more of those big bumblebees out here. There was some great big bumblebees like that. That big. So I'm just using my tripod. I'm gonna go back on there. Sure. There you go. Mm-hmm. So nice. Not near as many sounds now. It's all calming down. Calm is good. That's great. Wizonic. Wizanic. Happy to help everybody. Hi, Kirk. How are you? Welcome to breathing and drinking water. That's all it is. We're just sitting outside and breathing and drinking water. And I need to go get some more water, so I'll be back in a minute. So last night I went and loaded up on water out to the spring. It was the latest I'd ever been to the spring for water, and I had to do it in the dark. There was a little bit of moonlight, but I did have a headlamp. I had a headlamp in the car, so I was good. And the water flow was really fast, so I loaded up all of the bottles and the big one really fast. So I'm all set. I'm all set. Cool, Kurt. We've got 8 viewers again. Cool. I was up to about 12, and then all of a sudden, the battery in the laptop went dead. I completely forgot about that happening. And so I had to run and get an extension cord from the apartment, and I had to put 3 of them together to make it all the way here. I was thinking to myself, I wonder how far the Wi-Fi would go from the router, from the modem, whatever it is. Probably, I don't know, not sure. Let me see what my bars are. Okay, so I've only got 3 bars, but that's not too bad. It looks like it's good enough. It's a total of 5 bars, and I've got 3 bars. Sorry, I was just watching a cute girl walk by. I have an eye for that. Nature. I love watching the birds. The robins love to run around in the grass and look for bugs. Sometimes a big flock of robins will land right here on the grass, especially on the side of the hill. And I'm not sure what kind of bugs they're eating, but they're eating something. So many bugs. And it's very lush, you know, especially at this time of blooming like crazy. And all the bugs and birds and bees are going nuts. The blossoms. And last night, check it out. Last night I was watching the moon rise through that big tree right there. You see that? That big tree with no leaves on it yet? The one right there. The moon was rising right through that tree. It was so cool last night. And I wanted to take a picture of it, but my camera just doesn't have the ability to see what my eye does, you know? So it just didn't do it any justice. So this is my little retreat from the war that I've been participating in so diligently, the Ukraine war. This is my little offsetter, you know, so I can come out here and come back to center and try and regroup. So sometimes predict I try and predict how healthy I'll be in 5 years or 10 years, you know? And it just seems like a futile thing to try and do. Just a ridiculous kind of you might as well forget it activity because what will be will be. And there's just a bunch of things that are like that for me. A bunch of things that are like, well, you're wasting your time thinking about that again. So why bother? So that's why I'm out here focusing on oxygen and drinking water and listening to the birds and the bees and the crows. And it's so much better than just regurgitating the same thoughts over and over again. And I'm sure you can relate. Oh, good, there's 8 people. There's my neighbor. I hope she goes away soon. Yay! I have this nasty neighbor that I don't talk to. I'm sure you've experienced that as well. But it's just part of life. And if you can just ignore something, it usually will go away. And it's been a test for me to get that to go away, especially since she lives next door to me. But seems to be working out. I just try and stay neutral and don't say anything to her. Okay, so anyone that's wondering if I have a video on breathing or on sunbathing or something like that, all you have to do is go to my homepage and there's a little magnifying glass there. And you click on that, and then a box appears, and then you can type in anything that you want. So anyone that has a computer, they should know these or learn these skills, how to look something up on a website or on a YouTube channel, or even within a page, you can find certain words, like on Google or on Firefox. You can click the little 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, and then it'll bring down a, a box with all your options. And you can click the one that's like lookups, look up a word, and in the bottom left corner, a little thing will come up where you can type in the word that you want to look up within that article, and then it'll highlight the word everywhere in the article that you want to find it. So yeah, on YouTube, on my home page, you'll have about 6 different options. And one of them is the little magnifying glass, and you can look up my breathwork breathing videos, and I have several of them, including this one. You can look up sitting in the sun in the winter time. It's like 30 degrees outside, and I'm sitting in the sun with a blanket on the back side, but I'm holding it open on the front. Got a bunch of different sunbathing videos. These are all just no-brainer things, though. Most of my videos are just me showing you that I'm doing the work and hoping that it inspires you to also do the work. But there is some info that's important in my videos, and you can look them all up and watch them. And if you started watching my videos from the very beginning, from 13 years ago till now, it would probably take you about 10 years. No, it would probably take you about, I don't know, 6 months. It would probably take you about 6 months if you watched them all day long, and that's all you did other than sleep. You didn't eat, you didn't have sex, you didn't talk to anyone. All you did was watch my videos for 6 months straight. That's how long it would take you to watch all of my videos, including all the live ones, because it's a lot of videos. Yes, it is great, but don't call me sir. Even if you're an Indian, you can't call me sir. It's too formal. Keep it cash, dude. Keep it cash. I know you're an Indian and you want to call me sir, but you should keep it casual. Just call me Brett. Don't call me bread like someone did a little while ago. Bread is something that I don't eat unless it's gluten-free. Call me Brett with 2 T's. Brett. Stretch. This is a good stretch. Just give yourself a hug. Ah. Mhm. So cool to know that people are watching me from India and South America, Sweden. Someone was from Sweden was watching me a little while ago. Someone from Norway. I hope that Sweden and Finland both join NATO. I'm seeing more and more signs that the Russian government is going to have to crumble soon. It's a really good thing. It's a really good thing. It's just going to take enough of their army basically saying, nope, sorry, we're not going. I subscribed to a channel a little while ago that somehow they're able to intercept phone calls from Russian military back talking to their mothers or fathers, telling them about how they've decided they're not going in. They're quitting. It's a lot of them. A lot of them are doing that because they don't want to get killed. So it's really cool. Hmm. There's the sun poking through. It's getting a little bit more light out now. I've been thinking about doing a little bit of gardening out behind the apartment, but my neighbor is gardening back there too, and so I would want to be out there a limited amount of time. But I might plant a few things, you know. See, the perfect place for a garden is right here. And unfortunately, the landlord doesn't want a garden in out here where it can be seen because she thinks that it and like another landlord that I had, they think that it takes away from the value of the property. This is the world that we live in. They're not concerned about anything that's sustainable. They're concerned about the property values. And I really don't know what to do about this other than to eventually get out of here. So I did a notice on the board at the grocery store that I'm looking for a rental. And so I assume that if I just keep that notice up there, eventually I'm going to get one. But if I really want to get serious about it, I have to get on Craigslist every day and keep looking, looking, looking. There's a couple different places that you can look, but the thing is that vacancies around here are like few and far between. Like there are hardly any decent ones. And if you do find something, it's probably way too expensive. And so this is something, this getting into a community is something I'm really gonna have to start, and I'm really milling it over. Yeah, I'm thinking about that a lot in my mind every day, every single day. And I did a little, I did a little Zoom meeting the other night with some friends, just a few friends. And I think that it would be really good to have regular Zoom meetings and build a relationship with people from my holistic homestead group because I think that that's ultimately still what I need to do. I'm not positive on that because with everything that's going down in the world, nothing is positive, nothing is set in stone, and we just kind of have to allow everything to play out, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, I'm not just gonna sit around and twiddle my thumbs and not do anything, if you also know what I mean. I mean, you have to make an effort. What do I think about permaculture? So, Paul, I think that I would really like to get into permaculture, you know, sustainability, plant sustainability, and learning about a lot of those kinds of things. But until I can free up a lot of my time, which means that I don't have to pay rent every month, it's just not happening. I'm kind of like barely able to just grow a few things behind this apartment because I have to just keep working to make money to be able to pay for the expenses of it all. That's what the whole holistic homesteading idea is, you know, largely about freeing up your time so that you don't have to just keep throwing money at rent and electricity things. And really the only way to do it is communally. And the only way to do that is by getting people that are like-minded. And that's the biggest challenge. Getting people that are like-minded and responsible that actually also have money. Because most of the people that want to do that kind of a thing don't have any money. They're just like broke hippies. And so, yeah. Hi, Kim Ray. Happy Resurrection Day. You know, it was only like an hour ago or something. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Easter. Sorry, you Christians out there, but I'm just really not into it. Easter and resurrection and all of that. I really like the birds and the bees and the trees, you and I like the realities that I can see and feel and hear in this world. I'm not really into too much like the stories of the past, the lessons of humans from the past, etc., the learnings, etc. Because I've pretty much learned things on my own. And when someone else tells me how to live, I'm really not interested. I'm doing okay as I am. I take what I like and I leave the rest. I don't do pagan rituals. I like water. So today I finished 2 millet-hole pillows and packed them up and put labels on them. They're ready to go out tomorrow morning. They're going to Pennsylvania and they're going to, I can't remember, Iowa, I think, somewhere out here. It's warm outside, and for some reason my neighbor is burning wood. They've got their wood burning stove going. Can you see that? I love the heat of wood, the feel of wood burning is so much better, and the smell and the look of the fire and everything. It's so much better. And in the house that I would like to build, I would like to have a mass rocket stove. You can look that up on YouTube, mass rocket stove. And I think it would be really nice to live in a house that I built myself with a nice wood burning rocket stove inside. And I would like to have skylights with a lot of sunlight. And I would like my house to be very round and made of soil so that it's super heavy. And I would like it to be fire and tornado and hurricane proof completely. In fact, I would like all the houses in our community to be that way, bulletproof. In fact, they would actually be bulletproof. Like if you took a gun and you shot it into these apartments, the bullet would, if it were a heavy caliber, it would easily go right through that wood. But if you took a heavy caliber gun and shot it into the house that I'm going to build, it wouldn't go through because the walls would be mostly soil, cob, and they would be about that thick. So the difference between the way people make these speed homes, these fast built wood houses with fiberglass in the walls and the ceilings, and drywall on the inside. The difference in durability between something like that versus a really natural house, it's not even close. And the truth about all of that, I think the more people heat this earth and the more the weather changes, the more we're going to see that reality exposed big time. Because if a house isn't very resistant towards extreme weather phenomena, it's not going to survive. And these places, they're 50 years old. They were built in 1970. These little apartments, but 50 years is not really very long. We don't have tornadoes here. Oh, good, Kim Ray. Ooh, we have 10 viewers. We don't have tornadoes here because it's the mountains. And the tornadoes, they just for some reason don't get going here in the mountains much. You need more of a flat area. But we could have fires. We don't really have hurricanes this far from the coast. I mean, we can have the residuals from a hurricane off of the coast, off of the Gulf or the East Coast. But by the time it gets here, it's not very powerful and windy. It can dump a lot of rain if it's a really good hurricane, but it's not something that would threaten these houses. So this is like a really safe place. Like versus the West, it's very prone to fires and can be really smoky. So that's one of the reasons why I stay here, you know. Hmm, so nice. And I really like it green. If I were to live in the West now, I'm sure that I would have to live in the Northwest. I mean, sure, it's possible if I were to actually find someone that wanted to do some kind of a trade for massage and they lived in a really ritzy place like Santa Barbara, right on the coast in California. I'd maybe do something like that, but I could never afford to actually live there, you know? It would have to be some kind of a trade situation for massage. But I would live in Monterey or Santa Barbara or something like that. That would be kind of cool. But being used to the peace and it's like here it's a kind of a down home and honest kind of a place, whereas California is more of a plasticky place because people are forced to make money, so much money, and it's such a money hungry kind of a place. There's a hawk. Can you see him? We have a lot of hawks and we have a lot of buzzards. We have so many animals here. We have raccoons and possums and rabbits, all kinds of lots of deer, lots of deer. And birds, we have blue jays and cardinals and Carolina wrens and what else? There's a lot of crows, of course. There's crap loads of hawks, and if you don't have a good rooster to protect your hens, you better get one. One thing I learned about raising chickens. I've noticed that when I sit here, there's like a little Carolina wren or two that like to land on my birdhouse. They'll land on it even if I'm sitting out here. Even if I'm sitting right over there close to it, they'll still land on it and eat the foods. And I put more food out on it today. Mm, yeah. It's good to work, but it's also good, like if you're doing your healing, you want to have a lot more free time to enjoy your life and to work on your health. And so that's that's kind of the situation that I've gotten myself into here. I have more free time, but I still don't have as much time as I'd like to have. But if I keep working on it, I can arrange that. I just have to get more people. I'm at this point of where the only way that I can really progress in that regard is to get a group of people together communally, community, in which case we would be this. So if you think about that, it's kind of interesting. The whole idea of communism is to be communal, but they never actually succeeded in it because they just became fascists. The government became fascist, a controlling dictatorship. And so technically they never were communists because being a communist means that you're communal and everyone is treated equally. They were never like that. They were not in Russia, they were never, and in China, they were never communists. And so what I'm shooting for is to become a communist. But see, the only way that you can be communal like that is if everyone is responsible. Responsible. And to get everyone in a community to be responsible, It's a real challenge. It's a real challenge. Not sure what kind of bird that is. So beautiful. I'm not sure if you. Are you guys enjoying this little nature sitting with me? Haven't had a comment in the chat box for a while. I'm like, hey, come on, you guys. I think I'm going to do this every day, not with the video, maybe once a week with the video, the live stream. But I think I'm going to come out here every day for at least an hour. Mm. 10 people are watching. 10. You guys could write down like something that you've been doing that's interesting in the chat box to share with everyone. That would be cool. I've been going out and walking a little bit more. In fact, I might go for a walk pretty soon here. See how my battery's doing. That's good. I'm up to 77% on the battery. Oh, cool. Thanks for making the effort there, Mr. Boss. Mr. Boss. Yeah, if you're on your Xbox, you should go outside. Can you go outside and play on your Xbox on the grass? That way you'll be able to breathe more oxygen. That's kind of an oxymoron to go outside and sit on the grass and play on an Xbox. That's like a video game, right? I haven't played video games since I was about 16, and that's a long time. That's 40 years ago. But yeah, I used to enjoy doing that. You guys remember the old games like Breakout, Breakout, and um, Pac-Man? That was when I didn't have things to accomplish, though. Now I have so many things to do. I wish I felt more comfortable about driving, but I don't for different reasons. It's too expensive to drive now. Yesterday I filled up the tank and it was a little better. It was 41.50. 41.50 for 10.67 gallons. 3.89 a gallon, which is better than 4.19 that it was. The time before, that was the most that I'd ever spent on on a tank of gas. $45 freaking dollars. And so, like, at $33, it was like $33. That wasn't too bad. But man, $45 for a tank of gas? But my car is running really good. I figured out what the problem was with the manifold. My manifold didn't have a brace on it. There's supposed to be a brace that holds the manifold to the block. And on the Toyota Nation forum, somebody asked if I had the brace installed. And so I went out and looked. There's no brace. And so he actually sent one to me. I bought a new manifold, a nice new manifold, an aftermarket one, and installed it the other day, crossing my fingers that it doesn't crack again. But I'm guessing that that was the reason. Another thing that I did was I bought a torque wrench because I'd never purchased in my whole life. I'd never bought a torque wrench because it's just not something that you ever use hardly unless you're working on cars, and only specific things really need a torque wrench. But this was one of those things. So I bit the bullet and bought a Craftsman torque wrench for 85 bucks on Amazon. I'm still addicted to using Amazon, although I've been trying to use it less. But so I got it installed and I've been driving it, and it runs a little better. Whenever you've got a cracked manifold, your car won't run as good. So it does run better. I drove it to Asheville and back the other day and had more power. I'm hoping the gas mileage might be a little better too. It is running good, even though the gas is so expensive. Do you believe in jumping jack can possibly tear a muscle near the armpit? Especially if I haven't moved a lot in the last couple of months. I've been a couch potato, but I'm trying to change. I'm trying to detox my lymph nodes naturally. When your teres muscles get really tight under here, and when your triceps are tight right here, that's when you can strain tendons where the muscles are connected to the bone. There's a bug on you. So yeah, what I do for that is I've got a big 6-inch roller, and I'll put it underneath here and roll on that and release it doing that. Additionally, I'll take my hands and massage like this. Okay, so this is one of the pinching places. Sorry, this is one of the pinching places. So you want to let your arm down like that and feel for where it's tight and pinch, and it hurts. See how I'm stripping? Then stretch it. Then stretch it. Before you go doing cardiovascular exercises like that, because whenever you're doing something like more aggressive like that, then you can feel it. Your body it's telling you, Hey, don't do that because you're injuring me. The reason you're injuring it is because you haven't done the stretching and self-massage first. And, yeah, my baseball team, the Padres, one of their players, Blake Snell, one of their starting pitchers, he has a groin injury right now, okay? And it's amazing to me that a $1,000,000, multi-million-dollar player is not getting enough massage and doing self-massage and stretching enough to prevent that from happening. So, I mean, the guy could afford to pay somebody full time to be his massage therapist. He's a starting pitcher for the Padres, making millions of dollars a year. He could have somebody living with him full time and giving him a massage every day. But I'm telling you, self massage and all of these different health modalities, they're not easy. It's not just self massage that you need to learn. It's the detox, as you mentioned there before, Antonio. Because when you're doing the self massage, it's going to force detox on you. And if you don't know how to deal with that, you're going to be screwed and you'll stop doing the self massage and the walking and everything else. And and people are so strained, their schedules are so strained. And I'm telling you, if you don't have time, if you don't have the gumption, the desire to just go outside and do simple things like this, just sit, it's not going to work. Your health is going to go straight to hell. You're welcome. You're welcome. I might as well give free consultations while I'm sitting here. Speaking of consultations, I have them on sale, both self-massage consultations, where we can talk live on Zoom or on Google Meet or on Facebook, whatever, Skype. So I can talk to you from anywhere in the world or anywhere in the world, and they're on sale for $40 for a whole hour. That's cheap. Regularly $50 an hour. Holistic consultations and massage consultations. Oh, oh yeah. So all this sitting outside in a peaceful place, it's so calming for the mind and so calming for the body and so stimulating for the senses too. Can you hear the birds? Can you guys hear the birds? Turn up the volume. Can you guys hear the birds? Somebody write in the comments whether you can hear the birds or not. Cool. Check out the pine trees. See the pine trees? I wish I could zoom in on that. Like, look at the blossoms on that. I don't think you can see the blossoms on that, but like if I got closer, maybe. That whole thing is white, kind of a white and green with blossoms. That one and that one hasn't got leaves on it yet. But all those pines stay nice and green all winter. I just heard a woodpecker. Did you hear him? Did you hear the woodpecker? Right there. Tell me if you can hear that woodpecker in the distance. I may have to turn the camera around so the mic is in that. Okay, it's over that way. He's right over there somewhere. Do you hear it? Up there. When I lived in Woodfin, we had a woodpecker that was pecking on the corner of the house, just destroying it and driving me nuts. And I can't remember what I did. I did something to make him stop. I think I put something over the area that he was pecking on, so that something metal or something. You're welcome. You go do it, man. Enjoy. I think I gotta go pee. I've been drinking all of this water, so I'll be back in a minute. Hang in there, everybody. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, 13 people. Hope I don't lose y'all. I just gotta go pee. All right. So I lost half of you. If you've got to pee, you've got to pee, you know. But I hope everybody's having a nice Sunday. It's not started to rain yet here, but it's going to, I think, in a little while. It's supposed to rain tonight, almost an inch. I'm just enjoying a lot of oxygen and water. It's free. And yeah, it's nice. Oxygen and water and nature sounds. What more do you want, right? All free, which is pretty amazing. Our world today, to be able to get something that's free like that. But you have to really appreciate it, you know. If you don't see the value in something like that, then I guess you don't really appreciate it. You got to have the time to be able to do it and the desire. I think first you have to have the desire and then you have to create the time. And in order to do that, you have to really simplify your life so that you don't have a lot of payments. When I was a kid, my mom told me that my grandpa Peterson, not my grandpa Rogers, my grandpa Peterson, my mom's dad, she said that he always liked to pay cash for things. He didn't like borrowing money. That's what I think. That's how I feel. A long time ago, I learned my lesson by burying myself in credit card debt, and then I did a bankruptcy. And ever since then, I've never borrowed any money at all, except for one thing, my school loan. Going to massage school, I borrowed some money. But that was really low, a low interest and really a low payment every month. I paid on that for 10 years, $50 a month for 10 years. Ooh, we're back up to 8 people. So if you look in the comments, you'll see people asking questions about things. There. Hear the squirrel? I've been watching my neighbors over there moving stuff. People are so fat. They look like russet potatoes with legs. They're so fat. Imagine like a russet potato with skinny legs sticking out the bottom of it. Sometimes I think to myself, I wonder how beautiful people would be if they ate whole foods. and didn't eat certain foods, it would be amazing how healthy and beautiful people would be if they'd start focusing on their diets. Last night I was thinking about how people are so consumed with going to college, right? Because they're educating themselves on all kinds of things, mostly of which they'll never use in their lives. But they're learning about all these things, but they don't eat healthy foods. And so then they get to be my age and they're damn near dead. They get to be 40. I'm 56, almost 57. But they get to be like 40 or 30 and they're obese and unhealthy already. Amazing, amazing. But they think that going to college is more important. It doesn't make sense, does it? Think about it. Your health is the most important thing. It's not a new car. We need cars, but not necessarily. If I had to, I could do without having a car. I could actually run my business and everything and not go anywhere. I could just my bicycle. If I wanted to, I could actually have that 800-pound millet order delivered here for an extra $100. It would cost me an extra $100 to have it delivered here instead of me going and picking it up in Asheville. But I do that to save the $100. But they couldn't deliver it right here to the apartment. They could deliver it down to the main road down there, and I would have to figure out a way to get all those bags 3 blocks up the hill here. But I could actually do it. And I could get instead of going to the spring, I could get a water filtration unit and filter the city water here. It wouldn't be as good. And I wouldn't be able to go anywhere other than where I could ride my bicycle. But if I wanted to, I could actually not own a car. And that's kind of cool to know. I wouldn't want to not have a car because I might go insane or I'd have to hitchhike to Asheville for like entertainment purposes or whatever. But I could do it. I cannot solve the obesity. I cannot force. You cannot force. Nobody can change. Only doing it right now with COVID. God is pushing people, and some of them are changing. Some of them. I know this to be true because after COVID hit, the produce manager at my store told me that his sales were up $1,000 a day. 1,000 bucks every day. He was selling more produce. And so, people are changing, but so you've been a long time viewer, but you've never actually joined a live chat? Well, you have to have discipline, you know? And I guess that as soon as you've been beat up enough, then you'll get discipline. But it seems to me that that's the way I've oftentimes gotten discipline. Sometimes I'll just make the effort because I want to change. Other times I just get beat up enough that I do change. Acid indigestion or something. There's so many things that I've had to quit doing to be able to not be addicted to things. It's not just foods either. It's your lifestyle. I don't think that, like, if you were to go out into this small town and ask people, "Do you ever just go out and sit on the grass and listen to the birds?" I don't think very many of them do. You don't see people outside. See, that's why I really want to start my own community of health people, people that value things that are really worth something. This is actually really worth something. This is really, really valuable to just sit out here and, like, look at what I'm doing right now. Can you see? I'm talking to you, but I'm massaging my foot right there. I'm not just doing this randomly. I'm doing this because I have tension right there, right there. So this is an acquired skill that I can talk and I can realize that I have a bodily need and attend to that at the same time that I'm talking, and then adjust the camera to show you what tool I'm using, the realization that I needed to do this, and then the actual activity of giving myself the relief to do it. So I massage it, then stretch it, then extend it, then flex it. Extension, flexion. And after you're done working on something else, then you may feel tension somewhere else, like that. So I'm using that knuckle to massage the tip of my toe. See that? It's always good to massage your toes. Always. There goes my neighbor. Bye. Okay, so I think I've got just a little bit of time to go for a walk before it rains. So that's what I'm going to do. But I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you enjoyed this little grass sitting session video. It would be good for everyone to go out and sit on the grass for a little while and or go for a walk. And I hope that you are well and have a nice Sunday.